Well, great. Justin, welcome to Autism Spa. It's a real pleasure to have you here. We've talked before. In full disclosure, I'm a mentor with Multiple Hub, which is a civic organization that helps and promotes autism startups. Your product and your company is one that has or can have dramatic implications for the autism community. So I really wanted to have you on our podcast, learn a little bit more about what you're doing, and see how we can advise and inform our audience about how to take advantage of your product. So with that, take it away. Tell us about how you got into this field and what is your company all about?
Yeah, first off, thanks for the great intro. If we really kind of take it back to day one, this product started out of pain, which kind of drives my real passion. I started this company after I lost my brother to a series of medication mismanagement. And the fact was he was actually in a residential care agency and still didn't learn to manage his meds properly on his own. And that kind of struck me. And that was something that I really wanted to solve. And so pretty quickly after we kicked off founding the company, we were backed by the National Science Foundation, and we went through this program called iCore, which literally revolutionized our business. That's where we figured out what the problems were that we needed to solve. I'm actually happy now to admit that I was completely wrong, because luckily we were able to find out what we needed to pivot to. And so initially when we kicked off, my vision was we wanted to create this medication security company. We wanted to be able to detect when people are unauthorized and trying to take medications that they're not supposed to, either in the wrong amounts or just someone else's meds in general. And so our idea was create this device that could sense unauthorized access, use a custom lock to stop people from getting in, and send an alert in real time once it's detected. So we patented that, we worked on it for a bit, and then we went through this iCore program and started interviewing as much, and just like stop development. We were just talking to as many people as we could that we thought might have that problem. So we really started off talking to parents of individuals, not with autism or any specific subset of individuals, just parents in general. And we wanted to ask them, is this important to you? And what we learned was there's this bias that like that would never happen to my child. No parents believed that this could happen to them. And unfortunately, I know that it can. I never thought this would happen to my brother, and my parents never thought it would happen to their child. But as we were interviewing, we learned that there was this really, really significant problem other than medication security. And medication security could somewhat be kind of like a tertiary feature of, and that's kind of guided compliance and the ability to understand the process. And as we dug deeper and deeper, we realized that this problem was even more significant in the enterprise setting than it was at home. And so that's kind of what got us to the point we're at now, where we learned, for one, it's more important in the enterprise. And for two, it's most important in the enterprise for organizations like supported living agencies providing care to individuals with forms of IDD or just DD in general. So that's really how we got to where we are now. And so we have taken everything that we've heard from our customers or potential customers and just built it. We don't build anything from our own ideas and not talk to customers about it. Every single feature of our platform, every interface on our mobile app, every interface on our web app, the way the hardware is set up, that's been driven by our actual customers. And now the most beautiful thing about development for us is we actually have 2 neurodivergent interns that are incredible, literally designing the interfaces, working with our engineering team, iterating with us on the fly. And that's kind of how we've gotten to where we are today.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm sorry to hear about your brother, but it sounds like, to your credit, you're improving the human condition based on the lessons you learned about the circumstances of his passing. So my condolences to your family, but my hats off to you for turning this into a positive, so you can help others. So that's pretty amazing story. That's very compelling of how you got here. Now, there are I assume, other medical security devices out there. So yours is different. Tell me how yours is different from what's out there.
Sure. I actually would love to share a slide to answer that.
I will. You will have sharing rights right now. Allow. You are now the host.
Okay, great. All right. Can you see my slide?
Yes.
Okay, so I think that one of the primary reasons we're different is because we focus on each individual in the ecosystem. And like I said before, that came directly from customer discovery, talking to the customers and understanding that you can't just solve this problem for one person, you need to solve the process. And you need to help each person in that ecosystem. So when I say our platform is tailored, it's not only tailored to the end user, it's tailored to each of the end users, each of the people that drive the ability for that end user to even take their medications. So when I'm talking about administrators in most of the agencies we work with, that's a director of nursing staff. That's typically like a direct support professional, DSP, and resident is obviously the individual. And so for the administrators, we give them access to a web application where they can see from a top-down perspective all their clients and all their staff and all the data related to medication management. In these supported living agency, community is the major focus. They're distributed settings like houses, apartments, townhouses, like you or I would see in our neighborhoods, rather than this institutionalized group home setting. So that's amazing for the individuals, but it causes a change in the way medications have been managed for years. You no longer can just have this one room in this facility where all the meds are kept for everybody that lives there. Meds need to live in each of the places in everyone's homes. And so what happens is DSPs or other support staff are kind of going back and forth to these homes, and it's a more distributed setting. And so that's where we learned there needed to be this one place where the administrators are used to working. They're used to working on a laptop where they can see everything. And if someone misses a dose, even if they're 50 miles away, you can send them a reminder from your laptop, or you can get a notification or an alert on your phone or your laptop. For the nursing staff, they're hands-on. They've got 10 million things going on at all times. They need to be able to work quickly and efficiently. We only show them what they need to see. They can do everything from their mobile devices. There's no more need to use manual MARs, spreadsheets to check things off, transferring medical records. We got rid of all that. And something also that's cool is we got rid of manual keys. So there's a double locking requirement in most of the agencies that we work with. Most people would think first, hey, let's just use a key to unlock it. We found out that's a huge problem. DSPs were accidentally going home with keys in their pockets. The next shift would start and people couldn't get their meds. So we use authentication mechanisms that are already familiar to these staff. If you use Face ID on your phone, you can use Face ID to unlock our boxes. If you use fingerprint scanners on your phone, same thing. Same thing applies for the resident. So we really, really are pushing for independence. And we give step-by-step interactive instructions to the users of our apps to try to understand how to start to learn to do these things by themselves. And we tier in the support or tier out the support of the staff. The way that we're getting really, really good at those interactive instructions is from one of our interns who's putting it in his own words in a fashion that's digestible to people like him. So that's, I think, a big reason we're different. And another reason I think we're different from a lot of our competitors is just the fact that we're focused on the enterprise. And so we have to align with the regulations. So for example, we can't dispense raw pills. We can dispense prepackaged doses. So pill packets, blister packs, things like that is what we support.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. I mean, I can tell you, at least as an autism parent, first, the decision to medicate is a very sensitive and difficult one. And then second, let me get this right here. The process to manage that role and supervise and make sure it's done right, and we missed a dose, and it's all very stressful. And then not to mention the refills and calling the doctor, the doctor's out. I mean, the whole thing is stressful because now you're on psych meds. Psych meds are kind of sensitive. You can't really miss a dose. Autism parents don't really get a break or a stress break. So this sounds like it objectively manages the process from end to end. And is able to mitigate a lot of the human errors and mistakes and oversights, right? It's creating a system, a process, as you put it, to help families manage the health of their loved ones.
That's exactly right. And like, we also just try to aid this awareness factor, right? Like, even if your child does not live with you anymore, the parents are still curious. Are they healthy? Are they taking their meds like they're supposed to? Are they having their meds administered to them in the way that they're supposed to? And so what our app can do, even if your child is living in a residential care agency or being supported by one, as a parent, you can still have oversight. You can still get alerts. You can still have awareness that's connected.
And that remote peace of mind is a big deal for autism parents. I mean, again, another threshold decision. The ones that choose to or don't have a choice, they have to put their loved ones in a care facility. If there's a good enough care facility within driving distance, by the way, which is another conversation.
Oh yeah.
But if there's a trustworthy, reputable, transparent care facility, that having that remote kind of access to at least knowing their loved one is getting their meds on time and when they got it, huge relief. So let me ask you more about the finance world. Where is your company now? What kind of funding are you looking for? And what kind of customers or clients do you have so far?
Yeah, very exciting question. So good timing on the question too. We actually kicked off a bridge round a couple weeks ago, maybe about 2.5, 3 weeks ago, and are already oversubscribed on it. We're actually considering doing an additional bridge round because of the interest that we've gotten thus far. So still TBD on if we'll actually move forward with that or not. We've got a really exciting pitch day coming up for the accelerator that we're in, which you're also associated with, as you mentioned. So getting fired up for that. As far as our customers go, like I said, our target focus area is IDD supported living organizations. And so that's where we started. That's where we've optimized our platform. But it's been great lately finding out all this like reusable techniques and feature sets that we've embedded in our platform to also apply to other organizations that we thought we'd have to do a lot more tailoring for. So for example, we're starting to generate new revenue, new clients in the assisted living, nursing home, and skilled nursing facility spaces, also home care. And so we're learning that our platform really is tailorable and ideal for any organization that's responsible for their clients' medications. The fact that we've set it up in this hierarchical fashion where we provide access in the right amounts to the administrators, the directors of nursing, and then the nursing staff, and then the residents, we can really fine tune it to the agency's needs. And that's what we try to do. So every org that we work with, we actually don't even let them pay us until we've met the success metrics that we promised. So the first month prior to kickoff, we agree on 20 success metrics for our clients. The first month is free. We work with them. We tailor the platform. If they have a cool idea, for example, we're working with an organization in Florida right now. They had a really cool idea that they wanted to be able to output these reports to parents every month of their clients' level of independence, level of clients compliance, things like that. They didn't want their parents to have updates every single day, but they wanted to be able to give them this report at the end of the month. And so that's the sort of thing in the first month that we say, great, that seems like it will provide a lot of value to you. We'll build that in. That's one of the success metrics. And then once we've done everything and the client's really, really, fired up and happy and agrees that we've done what we promised, then we accept payment.
Wow. How good of you. That doesn't often happen.
I think for us, it's like we really are confident in our engineering abilities.
Right.
We rely on the customers to tell us what they need. And so it's kind of like a trade in my eyes. It's like, it wouldn't be fair for us to charge them to tell us what to do.
Right.
We literally let our customers tell us, this is what would be the dream platform for us. And we mostly have most of those features already completed, but if they need us to turn the knobs a little bit for them to make it perfect for them, we're ecstatic to do that.
Right. So we saw the process. Do you want to show us the dispenser? Is that right there?
I actually had, this one's not plugged in right now.
That's okay.
I can.
You can pivot the camera or bring it over.
So it looks like two different versions actually.
It looks like a copier under an oven to me.
These are two separate ones. And by the way, I apologize for the mess.
Don't worry about it.
A bunch of stuff here. This is one of them. This one meets the double locking requirement. The easy way to think about it is they're scalable. And so there's locks on the inside that look similar to this. If I plug it in, I can show you.
Right.
But essentially this door is the
open. Sure.
And then each of these drawers lock individually. And so the users can only access the right meds at the right time. In other words, you can only unlock the drawers holding the meds for that time at that time once you've authenticated yourself.
Wow. So, two quick questions. I mean, where are these things made? Are they?
Great question. So we have not placed a large manufacturing order yet. And right now, what we're doing is we're making these ourselves. So these units that you saw on the top, we're 3D printing these, putting them together ourselves.
Wow.
Programming everything ourselves, putting the electronics in. The bottom unit, we're retrofitting an existing hardware device that we can find. It's hard to show you, but essentially what we do is we cut the thing open. We put all of our tech on the back of it. And
voila.
To our platform.
Wow. Well, that's simple and efficient.
Initially, our plan was to place this initial manufacturing order actually right about in this time frame now, but we fortunately had so much demand and we wanted to meet it. And so we had to figure out a way that we could avoid this lead time of placing this manufacturing order. And so we figured a way to retrofit this existing hardware unit that we can just order online and kind of fix up ourselves.
Wow, whatever works. I'm sure investors will appreciate your efficiency in trying to keep costs. You know, I don't see you driving a Lamborghini just yet, but I'm sure, again, investors would look at the efficiency and, like you say, the engineering that you're bringing to it to create value. That's a mark of a good startup in the beginning, to try to make sure not only you're listening to the customers, you're efficient in your engineering, and you're adapting and you're solving a process problem that is life-changing and life-saving in a very efficient way. So that has a lot of value, I think, from an investment standpoint. And it sounds like, you know, your competition isn't really in the space, you know, has narrowed and solved as many problems as you're able to solve in the workflow that you just described.
Exactly. Like that's what we're learning more and more, is that, and just for background, like my degree's in systems engineering, my focus area was operations research. So I'm all about optimization. Like I love it, right? All my jobs before this, I was always trying to, you know, figure out ways to make systems more efficient. That's like what I do. And so it's kind of coming full circle now that this is really what we're doing with medication management. We're not looking at how do you just dispense pills. We're looking at how do you make this whole process efficient for your organization, make your staff feel valued, make the individuals get the best care possible, and eliminate liabilities for the organization as a whole.
And a small footnote in the times that we live in, as we talked before the podcast, you have some outsourcing that you do with a Ukrainian IT company. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we do all of our IT and software engineering of actually development on our own, but we have recently outsourced some UI and UX design to a Ukrainian firm, and they have been incredible. I'll tell you, like I said before the podcast, I think it's worth bringing up the story. I was on a call with the UX designer the other day, kind of walking through some of the new interfaces, and we heard this very loud sound in the background, and you know, I took a break. I said, you know, is everything all right over there? And it was like nothing to him. He said, yeah, you know, there's some shooting going on outside, or
just a bomb outside. It's no big deal.
Yeah, just a bomb outside. Like, let's just keep going with the designs. Like, so they're awesome. I mean, they work hard. They're not distracted. That's for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that is, as you know, is a whole different story and an amazing story. My hat's off to the Ukrainian people. And I'm glad you've reached, you know, a point where you valued their contribution, and it's helping your company, and you're helping, you know, the Ukrainian people under incredibly difficult circumstances to help save lives and improve lives, not only in the US, but globally, by the time this thing gets going. So, Justin, this is amazing. Impruvon Health is the company, not only autism applications, dealing with the meds that the autistic families are very, very concerned and stressed about, but any medical security issue that your process and your product solves. I mean, it's pretty amazing stuff. I'm so honored and happy and excited to be a part of it as one mentor with multiple. And we're going to keep talking, and we're going to try to get you some investors and see the next chapter in your growth. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.